hops that are grown in the United States don't grow well here.
I'm here on Berlin Beer Week with Mitch Steele. I didn't know that Mitch will be here, because if I did, I would bring my copy of the IPA book to be signed, and it's a pity. But I think that the next year in Philly, I will have the opportunity to bring the book to the States to get it signed.
Yes,
because
of course.
it traveled with me to Japan.
Okay,
when I had
great.
my vacation trip to Tokyo, I brought the IPA book, the IPA Bible book, with me on the plane, so I could read it, not spend time in the movies, hearing some very good lecture. And I don't know whether people in Poland exactly know who Mitch Steele is, but he's the god of American IPA, to be honest, and it's all because of him. The whole IPA movement, the American IPA movement, the hoppy IPAs movement is, in my opinion, due to the fact that Mitch started brewing in Stone. And tell me, because it's like a spontaneous combustion, this interview, I didn't know. In your book, you say, written, that you worked for a bigger brewery, Clear the Stone. Which was it?
I did. I worked for Anheuser-Busch and made Budweiser for many, many years. I was always an IPA fan, and when I worked for Anheuser-Busch, I was home brewing a lot, and I home brewed IPAs all the time.
And you also made the test batches that you released for the public?
I did. I got to do that for several years at Anheuser-Busch. Not many people get to do that at Budweiser, but I got to do a lot of very special releases that didn't sell very well, but they were good beers. And so I don't think Anheuser-Busch was ready for some of the beers that I was brewing.
What knowledge from the bigger breweries, the corporate brewery, to be honest, you've brought to Stone?
I think there are a few things. I think one of the things that I don't think anybody can argue about with Anheuser-Busch is they know how to make a very consistent beer. And so they had 12 breweries in the United States, and they were brewing Budweiser in several breweries around the world at the time. And what we focused on was, okay, does our beer taste good, and does it taste the same as everybody else's beer? And so learning how to do that and how to evaluate beer and how to make changes to adjust that so that it was closer to the target, I think was very important. It's an important skill for any brewer.
Yeah, exactly.
And being able to take some of those techniques at Stone, building up a quality assurance program so we understood what the beer analytically measured, developing a sensory program at Stone where we're able to taste beers and identify how they're different from previous batches or how they're the same and what would cause that from a brewing standpoint. I think those are the kind of things that I've been able to incorporate into our brewing process at Stone, and that's been really good. Stone is a much more creative outlet than anywhere I've ever worked. Being able to brew the beers that we brew at Stone has been a real treat.
It's not only for the beer, but also for the names that we've got.
Yeah.
And also the history with the Arrogant Bastard Ale.
Right. Yeah, Arrogant Bastard Ale. I think that was the very first Stone beer I ever tried, and that was years before I joined Stone. But my experience was similar to a lot of people. I saw the name of the beer, I saw the label, and I said, I have to try that beer. And so I bought a bottle of it and drank it, and I thought it was the most bitter beer I had ever had in my life. And it probably was at the time, but then, after a few years of drinking double IPAs and things, I became more accustomed to that level of bitterness. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting experience tasting that beer.
Other thing, I've had a question from my readers. It was for Greg, but as you are here, are you going to supervise the recipes that will be brewed here, or the Stone Brewing Berlin will have some kind of autonomy?
I think there will be a little bit of both. We are going to brew several brands that we brew in Escondido, and we are hoping, and we're not sure yet, but we are hoping to be able to brew some beers that are developed by the team here and released here only, and not brewed in the United States. I hope that's how it works out. But I know we're going to brew, to start off with, we're going to brew Stone brands. So like Stone IPA, Arrogant Bastard Ale.
Are you going to brew, for example, go to IPA and Joyride?
We're not sure yet. We're not sure yet on those. We're talking about it right now, and in some of the meetings we have this week, we actually talked about what beers we were going to brew. And you know, one of the things that we have to worry about is some of the beers that we brew use hops from the United States only that aren't normally available here in Germany. And so we're working with hop suppliers and trying to figure out what hops we'll be able to make available to us.
Are you going to use American malts or the German?
I think we're gonna try and use European malts. So that'll be different. We're not going to bring over American pale malt. We'll use German pale malt most likely, and we're evaluating different colored malts right now to see which ones we want to use.
Yeah, because Stone is known for using local, growing local. So everything that you use, for example, in the restaurant that you will have here, will be supporting the local people.
In fact, we had a meeting with a hop grower yesterday who was telling us we use a lot of Magnum hops to bitter our beers. And he was telling us about the farms that are 2 hours away from here. And it's like, okay, those are the Magnums we want. And so we're going to try to source as much as we can from locally. Centennial hops we're going to have to bring over from the United States.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you know,
you also have your own farm since then, I guess.
We have a produce farm, yes, it grows food,
Aren't you going to try to introduce some of the American hops in Europe? Growing them here?
Oh, growing here? I don't know, we haven't talked about it. We haven't discussed that.
So maybe it's some in the future.
Yeah, you know, some of the hops that are grown in the United States don't grow well here.
That's true, because of the climate.
Yeah, because the climate's different. It's wetter and more rain in the summer than Yakima, Washington. So,
but I've tried the new wave of German hops that are trying to mimic the American hops, for example, Mandarina Bavaria, Polaris, and so on. So there is this need in Europe. Poland is a brewing market, craft brewing market, mostly made by the American hops, to be honest. So there's this need for the aromas that are given by American hops.
Yeah, I would agree. And it's funny you mentioned Mandarina Bavaria because we use that hop a lot. We like that hop a lot. But yeah, I don't think you can replace Amarillo, for example, with something grown in Europe, unfortunately, or Citra. So there's going to be a bit of mixing and matching and experimenting with different varieties of hops and malts.
So the brews that we are going to make here, I can't say clones of the Stone Brewing brews from the States, but aren't necessarily going to be one-to-one. The same in the States, the same here.
There will be a few that are the same. Yes. So, I mean, with the difference being we're going to use European malt instead of American malt, but the recipes other than that will be the same. So, yeah, 2 or 3 beers will be the same, and then we'll figure out from there, how things are going and whether we want to brew something specific here that is only brewed here in Berlin.
So, when are you going to go to some kind of event in Poland?
How about after we're up and running? We should.
Next year?
Next year. You got to tell me when they are, and we'll make it happen.
Okay.
All right.
I got your email.
Yeah. Okay. See, that'll work.
I think that there's a huge chance that Mitch will be in Poland next year because, especially of the vast majority of beer craft brewing events in Poland. So I've got his email because I've asked Mitch 2 or 3 years ago about maturing, about conditioning of the American IPAs, and Mitch was one of 3 breweries that answered me from the States with this question. So I think that we'll be in touch.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It was a pleasure to meet you because you're one of my idols.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
All right.